lockdown happened, I had nothing else to do, right? So I felt very suicidal. People were bullying me. मेरे लिए इतना बड़ा शॉक हो गया कि ओ मेरे साथ ये सब चीजें हो रही है, तो मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कि ओके हाउ एम आई सपोज्ड टू फिगर माई सेल्फ आउट.
Do you think Gen Z is scared of love, or are they just tired of getting hurt?
So people just have learned to guard themselves better. They are just tired of getting hurt.
Do you guys think situationship is a fancy word for emotional unavailability?
They're just not ready to commit. Trust नहीं build हो पाता आजकल generation में.
In our generation, most people want to have all the fun of it, but nobody wants to take responsibility for the other person.
There is a lack of accountability.
Do you believe Gen Z want commitment, or do they just want attention?
You know, आजकल कोई अगर आपकी स्टोरी लाइक भी कर ले तो आप ऐसे दिमाग में ले, because it's cheap and fast dopamine.
Text.
Yes, giving you fast dopamine. So attention is addictive, but I think we cannot generalize this.
Hi everyone, I'm Kanika, founder of MindPeers, and we are back for another episode of Beyond the Couch, a place, a program where we put therapists, advocates, thought leaders on the couch. And today's episode, like always, is super special. Why? Because we have two Gen Zs who are very popular, and I thought that, it was high time we do this episode because Gen Z and mental health. काफ़ी बातें होती हैं इसके बारे में. हम बोलते हैं कि ये जनरेशन बहुत नार्सिस्टिक है, फेक कर रही है, इनके मेंटल हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स कुछ नहीं है, ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं. नाउ द आइडिया टुडे इज let's understand from Shruti and from Rahul that whether mental health and Gen Zs, is it really a real thing? What are their thoughts? What are the kind of lives these guys are living, and what is the perspective that they bring to the table? So we'll be talking about relationships. We'll be talking about a bit of pop culture as well. Parents and therapy, उनको समझ आता भी है कि नहीं आता है कि भाई mental health है क्या, and all of that stuff. So let's get into it. Shruti, Rahul, I'm super excited to have you guys here. Though I feel very old, right? मतलब मुझे बहुत old feel हो रहा है. I won't reveal कि कितना हो रहा है. But really, and the confidence with which you both walked in and all of that, I was amazed, right? So thank you for being here. Super comfortable हो ना तुम लोग?
Yeah, of course.
Great. All right. So we'll start in. I think let's first get this thing out of the box. Why do you guys care about mental health? So Shruti, we'll start with you. Why do you care about mental health? Why have you been advocating about it so much?
So I think like the term mental health came into my head and I got introduced to it when I was 17. Lockdown उस time just हुआ ही था and I had a very bad breakup from a 3-4-year-old relationship. And like growing up, I did not feel very safe in my own like family. Like I did not feel loved. And when you don't get love in your own house, you attract the worst of it outside, right? So and मतलब मेरे को अब मैं कम्युनिकेट भी नहीं कर पाती थी अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ कि मुझे ऐसा फील हो रहा है, क्योंकि आई जस्ट फेल्ट लाइक दे नेवर अंडरस्टैंड. सो उनकी भी गलती नहीं है. आई नेवर ट्राइड, दे नेवर ट्राइड, इट जस्ट केप्ट गेटिंग वर्स. तो जब वो ब्रेकअप हुआ, आई वाज अ वेरी नर्ड स्टूडियस किड. मैं एक हिंदी मीडियम से इंग्लिश मीडियम में गई थी, तो मेरी पूरी आइडेंटिटी ही पढ़ाई के अराउंड थी कि ठीक है, जब तक मैं अच्छे से पढ़ पा रही हूँ तब तक मेरे पास सब कुछ है, वरना कुछ नहीं है. सो व्हेन दैट लॉकडाउन हैपेंड, पढ़ाई बंद हो गई है, जो एक इकलौता रिलेशनशिप था दैट हैज गॉन आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स. I had nothing else to do, right? So I started, like I got anxiety, depression. उस time terms भी नहीं बताते, but I felt very suicidal. People were bullying me because I got into a new school and my nudes got leaked. So all of that like just put me in a very tough situation. Parents से conversation नहीं हो रही है. So I started expressing myself through writing and everything. And through that community, people, like the people that I met, they were very, pro mental health. Like they used to speak about it a lot, and that's how I met a lot of psychologists. And that's when they helped me out. I did not have money to afford therapy then, so I went through people who were pursuing psychology. They helped me know things and get out of things. And since then it was like a very big dream, and I want to pursue that dream further, that I want to introduce as many people as possible to mental health and how do they take care of it and benefit from it and use it to their advantage. So I think that's my reason behind talking about it, because I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through, the suicidal ideation, the planning, all of that. Like I would never want anybody else to go through it.
Shruti, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to come back to you on a few things. Now, before that, Rahul, tell me what has been your story. You're very young.
Yeah.
What got you into mental health?
So primarily what got me into mental health was December 8th, 2024.
Okay.
I lost my elder brother. He was 26 years old, and he was suffering from severe mental health issues. Like usko depression tha, he had anxiety, and that was because when he was 19, he got his kidney operated, and it was like it was a really hard time for me. I was pretty young at that time. It was around 2018, I think, and it was his 20th birthday when his operation was happening. So all my childhood, I had to see him go through so much pain. Like whenever I think about him, the only thing I can think about is pain. The only thing. I'm not exaggerating. So that's basically what got me into it. And yes, I mean, he had some addictions as well, and addiction is harmful. And he had gotten his kidney operated. And after that, having an addiction, that's really, it sucks
And that got you
into mental health.
curious. How did you take care of your mental health? And how are you right now taking care of your mental health?
When I saw his dead body in front of me, I was silent. Like I didn't cry for a second. It's not about like I'm a guy, I won't cry. It's not about that. The tears didn't come out for a very long time, for like a day or two. But then after a day or two, when I let it sunk in what had happened, kya hua tha, then I cried a lot, like a lot. And then I realized ki, matlab 6 and 7 months prior to that, I knew ki how things were going. My brother wouldn't live for long. So I had this thing in my mind कि ये होने वाला है. But I was like हो जाएगा ठीक है देख लेंगे जो भी होगा. But हुआ तो फिर realize हुआ कि क्या होता है and what had happened. तो उसके बाद I just got into like some people shift towards God for mental health. I started reading about Stoic philosophy. So that really helped me get over it. I mean I'm still not completely over it.
Of course, it's a
Yeah.
journey. It's an
Yeah,
ongoing.
it's a journey. But I'm a lot better.
Very nice and very bold of you. And you both have been vulnerable about it. I
Yeah.
think that's a huge deal, I would say. And this is where I also want to make the point that जब Gen Z's mental health बोलते हैं तो obviously real है ना. मतलब I think अब हम उस stage पर आ गए हैं जहाँ पर probably इस generation को पता है कि कैसे क्या है चीजें. Like Shruti was also saying उस time ही पता था कि label कैसे करना है.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you guys are becoming more aware, and I've seen your content. You both talk so well about so many feelings, terms, and all of that. So we'll get to that. One more question here, just in terms of what both of you talked about. Shruti, back behind the scenes, you were saying कि काश ये नहीं होता या तुम्हें better पता होता तो तुम और achieve कर सकती थी. ऐसा क्यों है? Why did you say that? How did it pull you back?
I just felt like that I lost myself as a person. Like मेरे लिए इतना बड़ा शॉक हो गया कि ओ मेरे साथ ये सब चीज़ें हो रही है and I had nobody to talk to it about. And तो मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कि okay, how am I supposed to figure myself out? तो मुझे वो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस नहीं समझ आ रही थी. अब तक मैं जैसी लाइफ जीते आ रही हूँ अब उससे एकदम चेंज हो गया है सब कुछ. मेरे को जो अंदर फील हो रहा है, जिस तरीके के चेंजेस मुझे दिख रहे हैं खुद में, एंड इतने टाइम तक मेरी आइडेंटिटी एक चीज़ से अटैच्ड है. मैं बाहर सीक आउट कर रही हूँ लव और सब कुछ. मुझे खुद में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, खुद में खुद की स्किन में आई एम नॉट सिक्योर, राइट? सो ऑल ऑफ दैट लाइक लेड me to kind of like just think that I'm of no use. Just because somebody else did not choose you or abandon you, that must not be a reason for you to quit life, right?
But Shruti, did someone say that, oh, ये तो बड़ी छोटी चीज़ है, breakup हो गया, so what?
Yeah, when I tell people about it, everybody is like कि अच्छा तो उसको how are you telling your own whole journey based on that breakup? But nobody knows कि मेरी पूरी story शुरू ही उस relationship से हुई थी.
And childhood also.
Yeah.
What happened behind that?
For 6 months straight, I did not used to look at myself in the mirror और मैंने लाइट नहीं जलाई है रूम की. बिकॉज मुझे इतना खुद के साथ रहने से डर लगता था, खुद के थॉट्स के साथ रहने से डर लगता था. Because I did not have an outlet for it, I did not know how to channelize them better. So I just feel like कि उसकी वजह से मेरी ग्रोथ बहुत पीछे हो गई कि मैं जो चीजें करना चाहती थी अपने लाइफ के साथ आई कुड नॉट do उस टाइम पे because I just did not know how to act better. But then it's not like I've learned to forgive myself for it, that that version of me just did not know better.
Correct. Rahul, I think my question might come a bit difficult. So it's completely on you whether you want to answer it or not. Completely on you. Tell me, with what you have shared, was it difficult for your parents to accept the whole notion about mental health?
Not really. I mean, if you ask about me, my parents have always been very supportive, like extremely supportive. Like they're like, do whatever you want to do until and unless you're learning something out of it and it's doing you good. That's it. I mean, they've never forced me to, opt for something or do something particular. And yeah, I mean, when I told my mother, I told my father that I'm doing this after I received the invitation for the podcast. I hadn't told him yet, but he was very supportive. When I told my mother, she was like, show me your videos, show me your videos. And I was, थोड़ा मेरे को लगा शर्म आ रही थी कि मैं कैसे दिखाऊं. But when I reached a good point, then I showed her. And all of us felt good, you know.
Rahul, did you have to gather strength to do what you're doing? To make the kind of videos that you're making?
Yes.
Why?
I mean, first of all, talking about speaking in front of a camera, it was very difficult. Very difficult. I didn't post for the first 2 months when I started speaking in front of the camera. I used to just practice for just 5 to 10 minutes daily. That's it. And that, I kept making progress and I got better at it. Then it was the first time when after 2 or 3 takes, like not even 2 or 3, 5 or 6 takes, I could get a good video. Then I posted it because I don't believe that I didn't want my videos to be highly edited. There are edits everywhere in every 5 seconds. I just wanted it to come out. मतलब एक flow में. Yeah, so I mean it was difficult. And दूसरे तरफ mental health की तरफ, speaking about what I've been through, I mean I've not really been vocal about it yet very much, but I want to be.
Yeah, and I think this could
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah.
Well done. Great. I think from everything you both have shared till now, it's given me a good sense of, talking a bit more details about each part of it. So what I'm going to do is, for the ease of our viewers also, we're going to now go a bit theme by theme. So the सबसे पहले I want to talk a bit about relationships and emotional chaos, right? A Gen Z take on that. And the first thing I want to ask both of you, give me your views, chota, like succinctly, whatever you feel about it. So the first thing is, do you think Gen Z is scared of love, or are they just tired of getting hurt?
I feel like they're tired of getting hurt because, like abhi ke time pe when people are so vocal about breakups and everything, and we are getting so much stimulus, both positive and negative, on the internet as well. I feel like people just predict the end of it ki it's going to hurt us. And because अब सब इतने boundaries और expectations के बारे में भी बातें हो रही है, so people just have learned to guard themselves better. So I think that they're just tired of getting hurt with friendships, like all the basis of relationships, not just like romantic ones.
And
Yeah, like all the relationships in general, like they're so tired of getting hurt ki if things are going right also, I've seen a lot of my friends and even myself self-sabotaging it ki okay, do I even deserve this in the first place? And हम उसमें faults ढूंढने लग जाते हैं अगर नहीं भी होती है तो, because इतना ज़्यादा अब हम negative उसमें चले गए हैं कि it's going to hurt us. Like half of the people that I talk to, their journey starts with like a bad breakup, right? So like people have heard it so bad ki it's like a gamble. That's what a lot of people tell me, that you either win or then you just like get behind in life because of this. You lose yourself in the process. So I feel like we are as a generation now very scared of love in general. Like,
okay, Rahul, your perspective?
I mean, I believe that Gen Z is scared of love because they're tired of getting hurt. I mean, in Gen Z, like there's this one thing. Our generation doesn't want to face whatever comes in front of them. She went through a breakup and she faced it and she made a good thing out of it. Right? And kudos to you. 99% of people can't do that. So it eventually, makes them scared of doing it again. I mean, they think that if one person hurt me like that, everyone is like that.
Yeah. And you stop being vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does it do you guys think it happens equally for both men and women, for both, like at least for both genders here?
I feel like for women still like have innately in them to not restrict love. Like I think at least about me and a lot of my friends that I speak to. But most men that I've spoken to after one breakup that they have went through, they have completely shut themselves.
I agree. I agree.
You agree to that?
Yeah.
तो ऐसा क्यों होता है?
If a guy is hurt very bad after a relationship, he just stops expecting things from people. Like it's like he wants to be alone and he wants to grow. I mean, that's another thing. But there are some men who just completely shut them off from the world. And it's like they just don't trust people anymore. They just can't build their trust back again. And for women, it's easier for them to, trust more people.
More about this in men's mental health segment also. I have something specific to talk about that as well. Moving on, very popular term, situationship. Gen Z में बहुत पॉपुलर हो गया ना ये, मुझे लगता है ये Gen Z के लिए ही बना है, ये हमें वर्ड पहले पता ही नहीं था, because I'm from a millennial generation and I don't think हमें situationships पता था. So the thing is, do you guys think situationship is a fancy word for emotional unavailability?
Yes, kind of.
Huh?
It's not completely true. I mean, situationships is like, I'm giving a very, weird example, but जैसे हम कपड़े खरीदने जाते हैं, so मतलब एक जगह जीन्स पसंद नहीं है, दूसरी जगह देख ली, it's like exploring. And पहले ये नहीं होता था, ये अभी हुआ है, अभी चालू हुआ है. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it is a fancy word for that, but it's also like people, they're just, not ready to commit.
They're not open, because अभी जो तुम लोग भी
Yeah.
बोला ना कि वो डर बैठ जाता
डर बैठ जाता है.
pain नहीं भी
Yeah.
wanna go through.
I think I consider myself one of them. We push away people. When we think that they're going to leave us, we push them away. So that's a big reason. And trust नहीं build हो पाता आजकल जनरेशन में.
Shruti, your experience?
मुझे तो ये टर्म ऑनेस्टली मतलब आई हैव बीन इन 2 सीरियस रिलेशनशिप्स. मुझे ये टर्म पता नहीं था until my breakup happened in December. उसके बाद I got into a situationship. That's when I realized that okay, this was a situationship.
The person you got in with told you about it?
No, I like the kind of bond that we had. Like we were discussing with friends. Like girls में तो एकदम सब open होके पूरा group chat चल रहा होता है. So that's when I knew okay, this is the situation that I am in right now is called a situationship. Ideally, like this is what I'm experiencing. And I feel like it's of course fear तो रहता ही है, but more than fear, I think in our generation most people don't want to have all the fun of it, like the experience of it, want to care about the other person also, not just like benefit wala scene I'm talking about, but like nobody wants to take responsibility for the other person or their actions of what they are doing to the other person.
Yeah.
That's what they are afraid of, that they don't want to take that load on themselves, and that's why they don't label it.
There is a lack of accountability.
Yeah, accountability नहीं होती. And if हम जो hurt होने की बात कर रहे हैं, I think situationships hurt more than
Yeah.
a breakup.
I mean, either of the person ends up getting attached.
Yeah.
It's impossible to be in a situationship without feeling for the other person.
Yeah, and I think relationship में फिर भी थोड़ी stability होती है,
Yeah.
ठीक है? Situationship में आप सिर्फ दिन भर overthink कर रहे हो हर एक action को.
Yeah.
So your mind is spiraling.
That would be more, I would say, it would give you more fatigue
Yeah.
and more overthinking, like you said. It would be very daunting mentally.
Yeah, so when it ends, it's like it's not hurting you because that person left or anything, because तुम्हारा mind अब suddenly पता ही नहीं है कि क्या करना है. So I think and after that I realized that it's very exhausting. I would prefer being single than get into another situationship ever.
The next thing I want to ask you guys is that, do you believe Gen Z want commitment or do they just want attention?
I think we cannot generalize this. I think it depends from person to person. But I'm sure like everybody in our generation has started romanticizing attention a lot, because आजकल कोई अगर आपकी story like भी कर ले तो आप ऐसे दिमाग में ले, because it's cheap and fast dopamine. Yes, giving you fast dopamine. So attention is addictive, but people who have experienced that and are past that stage, I think nobody wants to like get into attention wala.
I believe that everyone wants commitment. Everyone desires it. but it's just 100 times more difficult than attention.
Huh.
So people chase attention. They actually want commitment, but they chase attention.
Yeah. वो
Because-
रोज steady burn नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah, because commitment requires patience. It requires willpower. It requires everything. But attention is just quick dopamine. You can get it as soon as you want to.
But then are we saying then that this generation does not have that willpower?
Yeah, kind of.
Huh?
Yeah. Most
मतलब-
people don't. A lot of people don't.
Yeah. Because एक तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं अब हमारे पास करने के लिए. करियर्स डिफरेंट आ रहे हैं. बहुत मतलब जो प्रॉब्लम्स पहले एग्जिस्ट करती थी और जिस पेस पे लोग लाइफ जीते थे अब वो पेस नहीं रही है सेम, राइट? So people just don't have it in them to focus on this area of life. And that's why we see this generation being so lonely. Because वो लोग prioritize ही नहीं कर रहे हैं relationships को. They are running after a lot of other things in life, which is not wrong.
Very beautifully put.
Yeah.
Good inputs है. मैं तुम लोग से सीख रही हूँ कि हम लोग के generations में क्या difference है. And it just because you know sometimes consciously or unconsciously, like my brother is Gen Z.
Yeah.
And he and I are very different in terms of commitments. I keep telling him like you keep going on to these dating apps. Why can't you be serious? And like you both mentioned, he's just too scared probably. I don't know, but मैं उसको बहुत डांटती हूँ. And then, but now when you guys put it this way, it makes a lot more sense. I think I'll move on to a very interesting question, which is now going to be more about how pop culture is influencing
Okay.
our mental health habits and the way we see it. Tell me one thing now. So, do you think people use anxiety as a personality trait now? अब इतना हम बात करते हैं anxiety के बारे में. Do you think people are now making this like they're impersonating it as a trait they have?
Yes. And no.
Okay.
Because, see, people do,
Hmm.
but not everyone.
Hmm.
But the ratio is increasing. More people are doing it now.
Why?
People feel like they'll fit in the society if they show that they're, going through anxiety or depression. They just use these terms very loosely.
Hmm.
They don't know what these terms actually mean.
Hmm.
So that, I mean, yeah, a lot of people do,
Hmm.
a lot of people don't,
Hmm.
but the ratio is increasing. People are doing it. It's not like people aren't.
So great, Rahul. So hold on to the thought now, because the perspective you gave of yes and no, when you said the ratio is increasing.
Yeah.
Shruti, tell me, when you go out there, to date or what, and if you're comfortable in sharing it, and you might share about your own experience, that I have gone through anxiety, I've gone through depression. Has the other person judged you for that, or have they felt that you're not being real?
मैंने एक बार अपना एक्सपीरियंस तो नहीं शेयर किया था, बट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट अ म्यूचुअल फ्रेंड जिसको एक बहुत एंग्शियस लड़की मिली थी एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड आई वाज जस्ट शेयरिंग कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है. दिस फ्रेंड वेंट आउट ऑन अ डेट एंड दिस गर्ल वाज वेरी एंग्शियस एंड दिस दैट, एंड दिस गाय गोज एंड टेल्स मी कि यार एंग्शियस लड़कियों से तो एकदम दूर भागना चाहिए. एंड दैट जस्ट लाइक पुट मी इन सच अ टफ स्पॉट दैट ओके, लाइक आई जस्ट कुड नॉट ओपन अप टू हिम एवर अगेन अबाउट all of my experiences and everything, because people have started, अगर तुम थोड़ा भी खुद के बारे में इमोशनली अवेयर हो, you're able to manage your own emotions and you're vulnerable about it, people do judge you. I feel like they feel like कि अच्छा अगर हम इसके सराउंडिंग्स में रहेंगे तो मे बी हमें इसका लोड उठाना पड़ेगा. That's what people think. पहला thought उनका.
I mean,
Agree करती हूँ.
people also judge you because, I mean, अंदर ही अंदर, they know they can't do what you don't. मतलब if I have come over something and I'm being open about it, people are going to judge you because they couldn't be doing it.
नहीं, but राहुल, मैं श्रुति की एक बात से agree करती हूँ. Now that I probably want to know your perspective, and I'm not saying yours से मेरा मतलब है कि if you do that or not, but maybe like a very male perspective. तो श्रुति ने एक बात बोली कि हम जब especially men को बोलते हैं कि oh yeah I'm anxious, वो कहेंगे अरे मुझे ऐसी नहीं चाहिए. क्यों होता होगा ऐसा? Why do you think men are often probably seeing that statement? उनको चाहिए क्या, हमें cool लड़की चाहिए.
हाँ, मतलब जो
easy dating
नहीं हो.
हाँ, sensitive नहीं हो, overly sensitive.
I feel like not all men, like I've had male
Of
friends
course.
who have been very supportive about it, but then I feel like some men just don't have it in them to take that,
Rahul,
handle that.
let's go. No, I'm not trying to trigger a fight here. I'm just trying to get some things which have been very stereotypical in nature, and we're just trying to understand why are they happening. So any perspective you have on that, Rahul? ऐसा क्यों है? If at all you feel ऐसा है.
I mean, in my opinion, I haven't met much people who said that. मतलब मैं इतने लोगों से नहीं मिला हूँ जो ये कहते हैं कि आई वांट टू स्टे अवे फ्रॉम women who have anxiety, and it happens because I mean the same point we discussed earlier. उनको लगता है it's a burden.
Yeah.
It happens.
वो responsibility वाला.
But at the same time, it happens with women as well. It's not like कि लड़कों के साथ ही होता है, उनके साथ भी होता है. I mean, they want, a lot of women want a guy who's emotionally stable.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they don't want a guy who's depressed and he's smoking and he's drinking. No, a lot of women don't.
क्या बात बोली है यार राहुल.
That's when the concept of codependency come, I feel, right? क्योंकि अभी सब लोग relationships को ऐसे दिखा रहे हैं that you are, nobody talks about that relationship में independence is very important. Like even though you are coming with your own blacks and whites, you have to somehow learn to also be independent in them and manage them on your own. You cannot just throw it on your partner.
True.
And that's why we see a lot of fallouts in relationships because हम सब सारा burden दुनिया का उस एक इंसान पे डाल देते हैं.
Exactly, which I talk about this very openly. So when I used to, I was going through very severe panic attacks, and it was used to be only my partner who would support me in that. But a lot of times we would break into fights. तो मेरी थेरेपिस्ट ने मुझे एक बात समझाई एंड शी ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू गिव मी लॉट ऑफ मेटाफर्स टू एक्सप्लेन. वो कहती है अगर आपको 10 चीजें चाहिए और आप एक ग्रोसरी स्टोर पे जाते हो तो क्या वो ग्रोसरी स्टोर आपको अचार, सब्जी सब कुछ दे देगा? नो. वो ग्रोसरी स्टोर आपको उतना ही दे पाएगा जितना वो केपेबल है. सो व्हाई डू वी सीक आउट everything from that one person?
Yeah.
Why do we get dependent for everything with that one person? And most of the times that one person is your partner. They can be your boyfriend, girlfriend, they could be your wife, husband. And that's wrong because we are also being very unfair to that person, right? So very, very nicely put, I would say. Now, I'll shift some gears. हम लोग अभी बात कर रहे थे कि कैसे तुम दोनों ने अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करना शुरू किया because of your personal experiences in mental health. Now, so I'm bringing this towards identity. I'm bringing this towards validation. So the question I have for you both is that, do you ever feel that you're living for the camera even when no one's filming?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, as a creator, it's like sometimes you see content everywhere. कि मतलब यहाँ भी content बन सकता है, यहाँ भी बन सकता है. मैं यहाँ जा रहा हूँ, let's make content here. ये हम यहाँ भी करते हैं. I mean, it just gets engraved in your mindset कि मुझे कहीं ना कहीं content बनाना है. And it's a good thing and a bad thing as well because for me, I make content based off the things that I learn. तो अगर मेरे साथ कुछ हो रहा है and I want to make content out of it, it means I'm learning something as well. But उसका ये downside है कि I'm only thinking about कि मैं content बनाऊँ उससे. I'm not thinking about the knowledge that I get from it. Sometimes I think about the content that I could make from it.
Yeah.
So that is a bad thing. A good thing is that I'm getting knowledge.
Shruti, what about you?
I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on this. So I started documenting my journey on the internet from a long back. 3-4 साल से पहले दूसरी प्रोफाइल थी, अब दूसरी प्रोफाइल है वैसे. So I did not have friends, right? I was a very lonely person. I felt like I have so much to say but nobody to hear. Right? So that's how I started content. That led me to start content because मैं वहाँ पे अपने ओपिनियन शेयर कर सकती हूँ ओपनली और कोई जज कर भी रहा है तो मुझे वो पता नहीं चल रहा है और चल भी रहा है तो मुझे एक टाइम के बाद फर्क पड़ना बंद हो गया, राइट? एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड देयर वर पीपल हु वेर अग्रीइंग टू माय ओपिनियन, वेर शेयरिंग देयर ओन ओपिनियंस व्हिच आई गॉट टू लर्न फ्रॉम, राइट? सो अब मेरा ऐसा हो गया कि इट कम्स वेरी नेचुरली टू मी. सो आई डोंट फील लाइक आई एम लिविंग फॉर द कैमरा. बट एज राहुल सेड दैट वी थिंक अबाउट कॉन्टेंट इन एवरीथिंग. मुझे तो अभी आई वेंट टू माई होम टाउन, समबडी टोल्ड मी कि हमने तो बहुत गॉसिप सुनी तेरे बारे में कि तूने तो अपने ब्रेकअप को मोनेटाइज कर दिया. दे आर राइट मे बी इन देयर ओन हेड्स बट आई फील लाइक दैट्स वन way how I channelize my own thoughts. I'm not harming anybody in the process. As long as I'm not harming somebody else in the process, I think I'm okay with it. And as I've grown as a creator, I think I've learned to draw the line कि मुझे कितना शेयर करना है और कितना नहीं करना है. पहले मेरे को वो क्लैरिटी नहीं थी तो मैं बहुत ओवर शेयर भी कर देती थी जिसकी वजह से मेरे बिजनेस पे मुझे बहुत इफेक्ट हुआ था. तो देन आई लर्न कि मुझे क्या शेयर करना है, क्या नहीं करना और किस वे में करना है. So I think that is important.
So next thing I want to ask you guys is, would you rather be seen as authentic or successful?
I feel like there's no black and white here. It can go hand in hand. I'll give you my example. Like I run an academy also for people, right? So and I'm 21. I'll turn 22 abhi. So for people to perceive me as a coach or like as someone who runs an agency and I have clients who are 45, 50 and all of that. If I'm talking about breakup on my lifestyle page and people are seeing कि हो सकता है ये life में अभी सही phase में नहीं है, there might be a lot of business that might not come my way, right? People might think कि अच्छा ये अभी हमें कैसे support करेगी जब खुद को ही नहीं support कर पा रही है ये. But I feel like that has been my only purpose from the start that I will not show the good parts only. I will keep it very real. अगर उससे मुझे थोड़ा loss होता है तो I'm okay with it. I will not compromise on realness and authenticity just because I want to chase money and success and all of that. I will try and balance both of them on the same plate as much as possible because that's how I started it from. And touch wood मैं अभी उस condition में नहीं हूँ ऐसी कि अगर मैं रियल दिखा दूंगी तो एकदम मुझे पैसा आना बंद हो जाएगा या मैं सक्सेसफुल हो ही नहीं पाऊंगी. I feel like I can balance it and I would want to continue the same thing. So yeah, for a moment I can consider not having money or success, but I would not compromise my realness for it.
Rahul?
Authentic. Any day. Because I believe that real success comes from authenticity.
Yeah.
The success that you're getting from being unauthentic won't feel like success to you.
There are a lot of people who would be sometimes not authentic just because they know कि इससे मुझे बहुत success आ सकता है. Yes. तो let's say कि तुम लोग के साथ ये होता है and we can be honest या फिर you know maybe people around you who are doing it. Then what?
I think I would still not go for it. I think there's nothing wrong or right here. I think it has to do a lot with your values. कि आप कैसे ingrained हो और आप किस truth पे walk करना चाहते हो वो आपकी choice है.
Correct. What you're going to be comfortable with it.
Is your choice.
I mean, I would rather be broke and authentic than to be rich and unauthentic.
I agree.
I mean, that's true because the success and the fame and the money, everything that you're getting from being unauthentic, from copying someone, from not being you, it'll eat you up inside. कुछ टाइम में.
And अभी हो सकता है ऑडियंस को ये चीज फेक लगेगी कि भाई दोस्त है इसलिए बोल रहे हैं ये सब चीजें. बट देन आई थिंक जब इंसान सर्वाइवल मोड पे रहता है कि तुम्हारे पास एकदम पैसा नहीं है, तुम एकदम नोबडी हो, तब तक फिर भी तुम उस चीज पे चलते हो कि हाँ ठीक है मुझे कुछ भी आ जाए मैं कर लेता हूँ. मेरे को ऐसा कभी आया नहीं ऑप्शन तो आई कैन नॉट स्पीक फॉर इट. बट देन आई फील उस पॉइंट तक फिर भी होता है. बट व्हेन यू हैव सीन कि ठीक है यार पैसा आ रहा है सब कुछ आ रहा है तो यू जस्ट नो कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट मैटर्स इज आर यू एबल टू लुक एट योरसेल्फ एंड से दैट I've done it and I'm happy with it. Are you happy with your decisions and choices? As long as you are happy in your own heart, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
What's your most honest thought when you see someone your age probably earning or doing 10x better than you?
I instantly think, why am I not that person? मैं क्यों नहीं हूँ, मतलब जो बंदा वहाँ पे है मैं उसके जैसा क्यों नहीं.
And then how do you cope with it?
I cope with it. I mean, it eventually fades away, but it stays for a while. I cope with it by telling myself that I'm on a journey. Everyone is different. But लगता है कि I want to be there. I want to be better than that person. I have this competitive thing inside of me, which, sometimes I'm just laying in bed, relaxing. I'm like, no, there are people out there who are doing better than you. So you have to work harder. But yeah, I mean,
But then Rahul, अगर ये thought process बहुत लंबा चले, do you think it's sustainable for your mental health?
For my mental health, no. For my growth, yes.
So do Gen Zs understand this balance? What do you guys think?
No.
I think we have to be reminded of it constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to be constant because hustle culture again I think has become a flex. Everybody is talking about it. So kahin na kahin we are humans at the end of the day, right? So we are bound to feel that and get influenced by it. And I think we as a generation beat ourselves up a lot. We beat very hard on ourselves. So I feel like we just have to be constantly reminded that it's okay even if this is our pace.
You said hustle culture is the new flex. You guys do agree that it is a flex?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's like a flex. I mean, most people aren't even working that hard,
Nah.
but they're just showing it. So I'm in a cafe, I'm in Starbucks, and I'm, working. But no, they're not actually working. It's just for pretending.
For the grand.
तो तुम लोग को personally कैसा feel होता है इसके बारे में? If let's say not on camera, what do you genuinely feel about that? तुम लोग को लगता है this is right?
For hustle culture or for faking the hustle culture?
Faking the hustle culture.
It's wrong, but people do a lot of things right.
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं कि अभी आया, ये बहुत टाइम से है, पहले भी यही होता था. I mean, just to show people that they're working hard and they're doing something, people used to pretend. People pretend, but it's wrong. Obviously, it's wrong. You shouldn't do that.
And I think that's where it's related to the fact that we just talked about being authentic and being so So there's a non-authenticity part of it comes in because we want people to see us in a way, we want to maybe show that sort of a perspective or image about ourselves. We are probably being, unauthentic. And I also want to say here that I personally feel it's just not your generation. I think in millennials,
Exactly.
सब पे
founder
बट अभी ज्यादा बात होने लग गई है.
हाँ, अब उसको ज्यादा बात होने लगी है.
I mean, एक term मिल गया असल culture.
Exactly. Yeah. Hustle culture. Even in our founders, we are always, when we start, we are always said ki, fake it till you make it. And it's very burning out. Like it eats you up. Like you said, it eats you up from inside, right?
I had seen a podcast, I won't name it, but like usme the person was talking about that, if people around you are telling you ki, "Okay, you can go at your own pace and, you can chase balance also, you are meant for a mediocre life." Like if you're chasing balance, then settle for mediocrity. That's what, and I don't agree with it at all. Like you can chase balance because see हम एक length पे एक wave length पे हमेशा नहीं चल सकते. कभी 3 महीना में एकदम sprint पे काम कर रही हूँ, फिर 2 महीना में काम नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं vacation पे जा रही हूँ या जो भी कर रही हूँ. So I don't think we can generalize that fact कि अच्छा अगर तुम hustle नहीं कर रहे हो तो तुम successful हो ही सकते हैं.
True.
I mean, I don't agree to that. What she said.
Okay.
I mean, it's like you have to have balance, but for the thing you're doing, the thing you're passionate about, जो तुम काम कर रहे हो, you have to be more tilted towards that. मतलब if there's something that you have to do, but उधर balance चाहिए, तुम्हें वही करना है. Because 50-50 सही है, चलता है, but 70-30 is better. 80-20 is better. You have to be more focused towards that, what you're doing.
Trying to.
Yeah.
I think everyone to their own.
Yeah.
Everyone to their own
Exactly.
is what I feel. And I think a lot of times पहले लोग बोलते थे it is to do with age. कि भाई अपने 20 to 30s या early 30s में जितना करना है कर लो, मेहनत फिर नहीं हो पाएगा. But I now feel when we see all these brands like Nykaa or even if we look at Zomato, Dipinder Goyal,
Yeah.
these guys are setting a great example for us. All these people are setting great example that age is no bar. Yeah, right? You can dream, you can have your purposes, you can either concentrate it in a few years or you can spread it across, right? So I think it's also a lot to do with everyone personalizing it to how they want to live a
Yeah, how they function and they're like,
correct. All right. Now I have a very interesting one here. Do you think Gen Z is the most emotionally intelligent generation or the most emotionally damaged one?
I think we are the most emotionally intelligent because we are most emotionally damaged.
Not really. I think we're the most emotionally damaged generation.
Okay. Explain.
Yeah.
I'm loving the opposing thoughts, and that was the intention, the diversity that we wanted to bring.
I mean, for me, emotional intelligence is about, first of all, it's about detachment. It's about understanding your emotions, feeling them, accepting them, but not living your life based off of them. For example, if you're feeling angry, acknowledge it, feel it, but don't react to it. That is real emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And people misunderstand it for understanding other people's emotions. Like दूसरे की emotions समझना, दूसरे की feelings समझना. People think that's emotional intelligence. But a lot of times it isn't.
Love it. Yes, it's actually about understanding your
Own emotions, and Gen Z is failing at that miserably. They react to every emotion that they feel.
Yeah.
And that's because of all the instant gratification they have. Even when, for example, Reels, short form content, if you're scrolling through Reels, you're literally scrolling through emotions.
Yeah.
That causes emotional instability. It's not like I don't scroll Reels, I do. But there's a time for that. There's a specific time for that. It's not like I'm scrolling for 3 hours, 4 hours every single day. But most people do that. And that causes emotional instability.
Got it. Shruti, why do you think Gen Z is emotionally damaged?
Yeah, so I feel like we are emotionally damaged, how he explained it. But जैसे मैं बहुत react करती थी, इसकी वजह से मैंने बहुत रिश्ते खराब किए लाइफ में, बहुत चीजें गड़बड़ कर दी, करियर वाइज भी बहुत लॉस खाया है. बिकॉज मैं अगर मेरे मुंह में जो आ रहा है मैं बोल दूंगी, फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता मुझे. बट नाउ दैट आई हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट इफ यू टेक टाइम एंड प्रोसेस इट एंड देन गो एंड रिस्पॉन्ड टू इट rather than reacting, like what good that does to you, right? जब मुझे अब वो knowledge आ गई and I'm able to manage my emotions better and I'm self-aware again thanks to therapy. So I'm self-aware about myself and I know myself and it's a journey again, right? So I'm able to, respond to situations rather than react. So I feel like when we go through that damage, we automatically learn to work on ourselves and, go to that journey of emotional intelligence and, understanding our emotions.
Got it. Now, because you mentioned about therapy and we are talking about emotional damage, so I want to move towards a bit about how mental health is seen across demographics. Here, Rahul, I want to start again, like with you, because I have a very interesting question. Do you agree that men and women's mental health is seen differently?
Yeah, it is.
Very quick, yeah. Why?
I mean, because usually
Hmm.
when a woman is talking about her mental health, it's seen as, being vulnerable.
Hmm.
But when a man is doing it, it's seen as weakness. I mean, it's societal. It's been there for generations. It's not just about Gen Z. ये हमेशा से हो रहा है.
Huh.
I mean, when a man talks about his emotions, a man can talk about going to the gym, working, all of that. But when it comes to opening up, it's like, you don't have to do that, bro. And that's kind of wrong. It's wrong. And that's why it's very different. Very different.
Very deep answer.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go deeper into it. From where we started and you shared about your experience, Rahul, how do your male friends around you see you? Because you make men's mental health
Yep.
content, you're being vocal about it. How do your friends see you and how are people perceiving it?
The type of content that I make, people make fun of it.
Hmm.
Everyone does. I mean, when you see someone else doing better than you, you have to do that. I mean, people are like that. हम वैसे ही built है, most of the people. And it hurt for a while when I started it. But when I started growing and I realized कि while there are people who would make fun of me, there are also a lot of people that I'm helping. So it's a balance. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Because whenever people make fun of me, I get reminded of why I started it. I didn't start because मैंने इसलिए नहीं चालू किया था कि उनने बोला था, तो मैं इसलिए क्यों बंद करूं क्योंकि वो बोल रहे. That's the thing.
I feel like men, why they are not able to be vulnerable and talk about it because they don't have that safe space. At least in India, I feel like jitna agar he is speaking in front of me about his situation, I will try to empathize with it or just like try to be a good listener to him, right? But if he's talking about it to his male friends, they will put him down.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen,
They will.
right? But on the other hand, let's say we are best friends and I come and tell you that, bro, this happened. You will be like, Ki, Shruti, you're very strong that you went through it and you're able to explain it to me and share your experience. So I think women in general have created that safe space and there are enough communities where they can be vocal about their mental health and they'll be perceived as very strong people.
Yeah.
For men, they will be considered as weak people and that's what, leads them to shut themselves off कि यार हम शेयर क्यों ही करें, किस लिए शेयर करें कि हमें कौन सुन रहा है अगर हम शेयर करें भी तो. So I feel like there's a need for that safe space for men.
I mean, it's changing.
Yeah.
Changing.
There are a lot of people who are creating safe spaces online, a lot of influencers, creators.
Yeah.
So that's a big change.
Yeah. I want to just bring light to the fact that in India, the suicide rate amongst men is actually higher
Than that of-
than women. Yes. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that a lot of people say that why do we need a World Mental Health Day? Or, why do we need to celebrate it? I also want to tell you that we have World Mental Health Day, but we also have Men's Mental Health Month. And that's needed because, like we are discussing, that the acceptance and the awareness of mental health concerns, talking about emotions amongst men, is very, very low. So that's why I also want to ask you guys this question that how do we change it? You both agree to the fact कि हम कहीं ना कहीं हम इस चीज़ को डिस्क्रिमिनेट कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे मेन के साथ प्रॉपर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो रहा है क्योंकि वो अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकता है. What do you both think in your own capacities that how can we change that?
I think it has to be starting with your own surroundings, to be honest. क्योंकि हम बड़ी बड़ी बातें तो कर लेते हैं, कंटेंट तो बना रहे हैं दूसरों के लिए, बट खुद के घरों में नहीं हो रहा है वो चीज़. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माई ब्रदर, वो बहुत ऐसे गलत फ्रेंड्स ग्रुप वगैरह में आ गया था एंड देन उसने बहुत ऐसे गलत चीज़ें करना शुरू कर दी थी, तो आई गॉट माई पेरेंट्स टू टेक हिम टू अ साइकेट्रिस्ट, राइट? सो जो कि मेरे मम्मी पापा नहीं करते, बट बहुत मुश्किल से हम उसको लेके गए, एंड देन वी got rid of his addiction with phone and all of those negative things, negative influence and everything, and अभी वो बहुत better है, touch wood. And same with my male friends, like I have a friend who is 29, right? I used to always be scared कि भाई इसके सामने तो मैं नहीं बोल सकती mental health वगैरह की बातें. He's very supportive about it, and then I introduced him to therapy, and he's been taking therapy since then, since last 3 months, and which makes me very happy. Even my ex who I was with, he has a lot of like he cannot, like, it's deep rooted in patriarchy, तो नहीं है open वो therapy के लिए, but I took him to couples therapy. So I like tried to put my part to it कि पहले मैं अपने around वाले लोगों को तो introduce करूँ, and उसके बाद फिर I will go and talk about their experiences or encourage them to share their experiences with other people so that it can spread that way.
Love it, Shruti. Love it. Rahul?
I believe that the first step towards this change is to start acknowledging that your mental health is not good. Because most men just put it off. It's fine, it's nothing. कुछ नहीं हो रहा, ठीक हो जाएगा. Even if you're not ready to talk about it, acknowledge it. Start the change on your own. Start figuring out what you can do to solve it by yourself. And if you can't, talk to someone. Bring the change by yourself. सबसे पहले. Then try to talk to other people.
The content that you make, and I saw that it's very, you're directly addressing and talking to the men out there. Tell me 1 to 2 examples of men who might have opened up or who might have reached out to you seeing your content.
There are a lot of people.
Of course, just tell me 1 to
A
2
lot
people
of people.
where you felt कि यार अब मैं डिफरेंस बना रहा हूँ, अब मुझे समझ आ रहा है कि जो मेरे साथ होता है या जो मैंने देखा, देखो ये इतना भी ऐसा भी हो सकता है किसी और के साथ. Give us few examples of how did men opened up after seeing what you have put.
So, to be honest, the confession DMs that I get when I'm going through this 70% of them are women.
Yeah.
70%. Even
Women.
though I have a men's mental health page, they just talk about their lives, like what they're going through. What advice do I have to give them? I mean, 70% of them are women.
And to 30% men है, कोई give me one. I'm curious to know how are they opening up, what are they saying? क्योंकि हम वो भी बात नहीं करते ना, हम ये भी नहीं बात करते कि what are men actually going through. तो give me 1 to 2 examples.
I mean, the biggest thing men are going through are addictions. One of the videos of mine that blew up was on pornography. So most of the comments and DMs that I receive by men is, how do I stop pornography? It's ruining my life. How do I stop it?
And I think that's one of the first addictions that they get into when
Exactly.
they start getting lonely.
I mean, people put it off, like saying it's normal to do so, but actually it's not.
And I've seen people ruin their health, their career because of that addiction.
And actually, when you stop doing it, there are a lot of emotions that you have to face that you're not ready to face. They just start coming up.
I just want to say that there are a lot of addiction specialists as well, like what Rahul mentioned, that a lot of people, men especially, are reaching out that they are going through, let's say, pornography related addictions. There are always specialists who can help you with that. And by specialists, I mean to say therapists who are specialized in such kind of addictions. With that, Shruti, I have a question for you. You have been very vocal about your therapy journey. Just very quickly walk me through it. How do you find the right therapist? How has your experience been? And things like that. Very quickly.
Yeah. So पहले तो मैंने बोला कि नहीं थे तो मैं psychologist से ही बात करती थी, but they could help me process my emotions and understand it. फिर I think I remember that I took my first therapy session in 2022. I was in Mumbai alone. I was like, I did not have great female friendships then, तो बहुत fallouts हुए थे उस time पे, and because I was alone in Mumbai again, बहुत मेरे को लग रहा था मैं वापस से ऐसे suicidal वगैरह हो रही हूँ. That's when I took my first therapy session through Mindpeers, and that's why this platform is very special to me, because I had my first experience of proper therapy through Mindpeers. So I had 6-7 sessions, but then I struggled with being consistent. It's only since past 1 year that I've been properly consistent with therapy and I've seen that change. तो अब मैं जब therapy लेना वापस resume किया, उस time तो temporarily fix लगा लिया मैंने problem पे कि हाँ बात कर ली, चीज़ें अब समझ आ रही है, छोड़ देती हूँ थेरेपी। फिर मैंने छोड़ दिया था। फिर व्हेन आई नाउ थॉट दैट नहीं, दिस टाइम आई वांट टू चेंज माई सेल्फ एंड अंडरस्टैंड माई सेल्फ फॉर लाइक फाइनल टाइम, तो दैट्स व्हेन आई took that process seriously and trusted the process. मैंने अपनी थेरेपिस्ट को जाके पहले दिन ही बोला था कि भाई देखो मैं अगले सेशन में नहीं भी आ सकती हूँ। तो it's like, तो she assured.
You are highlighting a very key issue, which is consistency.
It is like, मैं अपने दोस्तों को, कोई भी मुझसे पूछता है कि थेरेपी लेना है, यार मुझे हेल्प नहीं हुई थेरेपी से, बहुत लोग मुझे आके, जब मैं प्रमोट भी करती हूँ, अगर मैं बताऊँ भी अपने स्टोरी पे कि ये प्लेटफॉर्म्स है, सब लोग बोलते हैं ये 2 सेशन लिया बट हेल्प नहीं हुई। बट यू हैव टू ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस। सो वन गुड थिंग अबाउट मी इज कि मैंने ये देख लिया था खुद का पैटर्न, और मैंने अपनी थेरेपिस्ट को ही बता दिया था। तो शी वॉज वेरी दिस की वी फाउंड आउट द रूट रीजन फॉर इट कि मैं कंसिस्टेंट क्यों नहीं हो पाती हूँ। फिर मेरे को समझ में आया कि मैं बहुत ओवरवेल्म हो जाती हूँ कि यार किसी को जाके पूरा इतना स्टोरी बताना है, मुझे नहीं बताना है।
Very nice that you being so authentic about it.
Yeah.
I also want to say, I think we respect and appreciate Shruti's advocacy on this, and we do have a special code via Shruti that a lot of people avail, which is going to be available over here. You can see it on the screen as well. Well, we are getting, a bit towards the end of it. I have loved listening to both of you, and I think हम लोग चलते ही जा सकते हैं, कितनी चीजें हैं बात करने के लिए. So I'm going to make this a very sort of a confession corner, like a rapid fire thing over here. Shruti, you talked about consistency, but another thing that irks a lot of people is, how do you trust that whether A, you're progressing or not, and B, whether your therapist is good enough or not? How do you trust your therapist with everything that you're pouring out?
I think I did not have a definite answer for it. I just जैसे पहले मैंने 2-3, इट्स लाइक फाइंडिंग अ गुड पार्टनर अगेन.
Very true.
सो मैंने बहुत बार 2-3 थेरेपिस्ट किया, एक्सपेरिमेंट एंड एवरीथिंग, बट द करंट वन दैट आई हैव, दैट्स वेयर आई हैव बीन द मोस्ट कंसिस्टेंट विथ. So because I got so much freedom and flexibility to explain things however I want, and there was no pressure कि तुम्हें पूरी स्टोरी बतानी पड़ेगी या कुछ भी बताना पड़ेगा. She told me कि तुम एक मूवी का रेफरेंस दे दो, तुम एक सॉन्ग का रेफरेंस दे दो, उससे I'll understand and all of that. And then I saw changes happening inside. Like I used to reflect after each therapy session.
Yeah.
कि okay, what change have I noticed? And then मान लो अगर हमने कुछ discuss किया that this has been my pattern, I started noticing that pattern, that is it repeating again and how am I reacting to it now? So progress तो तुम्हें खुद ही देखनी पड़ती है, and of course therapists also remind you of your progress कि देखो हमने इतना progress कर लिया.
Yeah.
So I think that is
one of our things. Yeah. Rahul, anything from your side?
I mean, I think that when you want to trust something, it all comes with consistency. Like if you're consistent enough, you'll eventually see progress. I mean, the thing people struggle with the most is consistency. For example, when people start working out, they're working out for a month and they're like, I don't see any progress.
Process.
Bro, you're not seeing progress because you're not consistent enough. If you do it for a year, you'll see progress. And that'll motivate you to work even harder.
And trust your therapist. Yeah.
So I have never taken therapy, but I think that's how it should work.
Yeah. I think just to add on from a very operational side, what we see happening at MindPeers is, most of the people do not know what is your right to information, RTI, where you are booking a therapist or when you're going to therapy. So, I mean, of course, I don't expect people to read the Mental Health Care Act that our country follows, but you have the full right to understand their qualifications, to actually ask them that whether they actually specialize in the kind of emotions or feelings that you're going through. And also things like, asking them for debrief notes, asking them for very, small paras after the session. Okay, now tell me, what do you think was your analysis? So things which are not confidential, which has to be with them. So there is a lot of things which is around right to information. Second thing I would always say is, please make sure that you're not getting gaslighted by your therapist.
Yeah.
Don't let that therapist put things in your brain or try to give you biased advices. The best therapists are the ones who hear you out, who probably, if they're giving you an advice, has to be a very neutral advice, but they cannot be the ones,
yes or no.
yeah, they cannot be the ones who will make decisions for you, right? They are only guiding you to get there. They're only giving you coping mechanisms to be there to make that decision, for yourself.
I feel like I judged my therapist with her ability to ask me the right questions.
Correct.
Because I understood that if she's asking me the right questions, I'm automatically leading to the answer that I want to.
Absolutely. That was where the third thing also comes, which is the approach and personality. Like for me, I switched, and I've again been very vocal about it. I switched my therapist 6 times, right? And जो मेरी 7th time therapist थी, clinical psychologist, RCI registered, but उनको ये पता चला कि मेरे साथ they have to be very strict, right? Because I'm a very stubborn person. I'm a very headstrong person. So उनको मेरे साथ बहुत strict होना पड़ा. Second, she realized कि while she was doing the CBT, which is the very cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a common mode, but उनको realize हुआ कि visuals मेरे को better समझ आते थे. So whenever she's explaining me certain coping mechanisms, she would actually draw it for me. She would draw figures of me, of my mom, of my dad, or things which are irking me. She would draw these things out for me. And suddenly it would make a lot of sense, right? So personality, what is the kind of equation? Like you said, it's like finding a partner, right? What is the kind of equation you want? These are the things that you have to look out in a therapist that you can trust. And confidentiality, of course, you all have to know that therapists are bound by confidentiality as per law. If they're leaking it out, then there is something absolutely wrong. Cool. So guys, we get to the next and the last segment. I've loved chatting with both of you. This segment is called the confession corner. More of like a rapid fire truth. So keep it very short, but keep it very authentic also, which you guys have been until now. So I'm sure it's not going to be a problem, right? So first one, what's one thing you have done that screams, I need therapy? Rahul, will go with you. Neha, people always say कि women first क्यों बोलते हैं? Now this is men first.
Yes. Let's go.
I mean, for me, it's like if someone is close to me, I don't usually get close to very people because I'm just afraid that they would end up leaving me, honestly. But when I sense that there is something wrong or that they're going to leave me or something is going to happen, I leave them by myself. मतलब मैं छोड़ देता हूँ. I just quit.
Thank you for being vulnerable. Wow.
It is fine. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Shruti,
I feel like I seek a lot of validation from, अगर for example मेरा किसी से fall out हो गया और कुछ हो गया, I would just chase them for validation. Like मैं social media पे सिर्फ उनको view only पे डाल के stories लगाऊंगी, ये वो तो I just realized that that's because I'm not giving myself that validation. And I like touch wood जितनी चीजें मैंने achieve कर लिया और जो भी मैंने करा, I should not do that. So I just felt like कि मैं कब तक ये validation chase करूंगी और किन लोगों से chase करूंगी. So when I noticed that, I was like, this is very exhausting. I just need to get rid of this pattern.
okay, next one. What's one emotion you fake really well? Shruti, you go first.
Confidence. Like, I feel like even when I'm scared of doing something, you would not see it on my face.
Nice.
Trust.
Trust?
Yeah. I don't trust him, but
Explain, please.
मतलब it's like I
ये ट्रस्ट करता नहीं है, but दिमाग है कि करो. हाँ, okay.
हम में कर रहा है ना तू आज से.
Yes.
Okay, Rahul. Great. All right. What's a piece of advice you give others but never follow yourself?
Don't be so hard on yourself. But मैं तो की बैंड बजा देती हूँ हर बात पे. मतलब I am just like कि कैसे नहीं किया मैंने ये, but I'm learning to not do that.
Got it. Nice. Rahul?
I tell people to be detached, but I end up getting attached myself. Yeah.
I think that's a human trait though.
I mean, it is a human trait, but still.
But it's
I mean, I'm telling people to be more detached, but I'm getting attached to things and
Still Gen Z behavior.
Yeah,
Okay. Who's that first person you would call when you're mentally spiraling? And who's the last?
I would call my best friend.
First,
Yeah.
last कौन होगा जानने के लिए कि you mentally spiraled?
My parents.
Okay.
क्योंकि I stay away from them, right? और मेरे माँ बाप इतना टेंशन ले लेंगे कि फिर मैं अपनी टेंशन भूल के उनकी टेंशन में पड़ जाऊँ.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Rahul?
when I'm mentally spiraling, I'd call no one because it's like
ये हम बदलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं आज इस
what if
podcast
it's like when I'm spiraling.
Yeah.
For me personally, I like to sit down first of all and think about it. I mean, all distractions aside, I turn off my laptop, turn off my phone. I just sit down with myself for 2 or 3 hours, and it's all sorted out for me.
Okay.
For me personally,
Okay.
and
Last one to know about it.
yeah, last one to know. I think someone who would not tell me the truth just because it would hurt.
हाँ, that's why having a best friend is who speaks to you. तुम्हें थप्पड़ पड़ जाए उसको सुन के तुम्हें लगे कि भाई ये क्या बोल दिया इसने. I think I have touch wood gotten friends who would not think about my emotions but tell me the truth.
Yeah.
True कि भाई तुझे कैसा feel होगा तू they'll show you the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very important.
Nice. Last one. What's a lie you tell people about how you are doing?
यार I तो just tell it very superficially कि इतना सब कुछ है मेरे पास, सब अच्छा चल रहा है लाइफ में. लाइक अगर इतना कुछ होने के बाद भी मैं कंप्लेन कर रही हूँ तो फिर मेरे साथ प्रॉब्लम है.
I mean, I just tell people that I've never been better. But it's not actually like that. Yeah.
No, I relate to it. The house would be on fire, but I would be like,
Never been better, bro.
never been. Yeah, I agree to both of you. Guys, I think it was super fun to talk to both of you.
Same, I've gotten to learn so much about male perspective today.
And I actually feel that I don't know what the world has to say, but the kind of maturity both of you bring with you at this age, I don't think Gen Zs are faking it, nor are they narcissistic. I just feel हम सबको ये बोलते हैं कि Maslow's hierarchy में Gen Z अब थोड़ा ऊपर है.
Hmm.
You know, क्योंकि रोटी कपड़ा मकान has been settled for you guys. Probably somewhere don't need to think about it because वो हमारे parents ने या previous generation ने tension ले लिया है. And that's why what's motivating Gen Zs is purpose. What is motivating them is belongingness, safety, trust, right? All of those things. So I literally had a splendid time chatting to both of you. And before we end, I just, both of you individually, any one last thing you want to tell your followers as well as the viewers?
I would tell my followers and to everyone, be more cringe. Do what everyone tells you not to do. I mean, if someone is stopping you, someone is saying that you're cringe or you're don't do this, don't do that. Just do it. Don't think about what the other person is saying and remember why you actually started it.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes,
Yeah.
but make new mistakes every time. Don't keep repeating the same mistakes because then they are not mistakes anymore, right? So keep making new mistakes. And something that I swear by and I tell everyone is, in this generation, we doubt ourselves a lot because, हम दूसरों को देख रहे हैं, इतना competition है. So we doubt ourselves a lot. Doubting yourself is not bad. Doubting yourself is actually
Good.
But just don't let that doubt consume you.
Yeah.
Take action despite that doubt.
I agree. Yeah. Take risks, do what you feel like doing.
I mean, there's this quote I just
Yeah,
to add.
of course.
It's like what she said. If you were 100 failures away from success, how fast would you want to fail?
I don't think I want to say anything more. I hope you all loved this episode. Please throw in your comments, whatever you want to ask both of them. And if you also want a part 2 of it, we would love to do it, right? Just on the basis of how much you enjoyed this one, right? So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again, Rahul and Shruti. It was a pleasure having you guys here. Thank you.
Thank you.